Hello out there, and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, and welcome back if you've watched me before. My name is Kathy, or I'm the Crazy Knitting Nana, as a lot of people like to call me. So, my channel is Kathy, aka Crazy Knitting Nana. Oh no, I got it. Sorry about that. Thought I didn't have my headphones on. So, if you have watched my latest video, you know that I went shopping in Ohio, and I got some nice little pretties. So I'm going to share those with you today. They're a little out of reach. And I'm going to go in the order of what I got. So the first place I stopped, well, my husband took me on this little yarn shop trip. So the first place I stopped was Ohio Alpaca Textiles. And the lady was so sweet. She, if you watch my other video, you'll know she took me in her back room and showed me the process of getting getting the wool ready to spin. Well, unfortunately, that didn't get recorded like I thought it did, but I did buy yarn from her. So the first thing I got from her was the Paca Peds. And isn't that a pretty colorway? So it is a hand-dyed fingering weight, uh, 20 superfine alpaca, 65% superwash wool, and 15% nylon. It's 32 ounces or 100 grams and 440 yards, which means it's about 400 meters, I think. This is called Deep Seas. And of course, it's you can hand wash or machine wash in cool water. And if you machine wash it, you want to put it in a mesh bag and you want to lay it flat to dry. Now, this does not give a hook size, but again, this is probably like it's a knitting needle 1 or 2, and the yarn is probably a 2. Uh, so I was trying to get a little piece out so you could see it. I would say it's a 2. And it is manufactured in Peru, color crafted in the USA because she hand dyes her yarns. So she hand dyed this. And it was it was 23.50, which isn't bad because now you pay, anywhere from 25 or more for a nice hand dyed hank of yarn. Now, the next thing I got was a steal. And I mean, it was a steal. It wasn't just a deal, it was a steal. I got a cone of alpaca and wool. This is a cone. I got it for $25. She was wanting to get rid of them. So if you want a cone of yarn, they had them in black. I think it was more like an off-white and tan. I got the black. I got one, I'd say it's maybe a 3 weight, a 2 to 3 weight. I thought it would be nice to have in case I needed it for, um, to incorporate into something else. I wouldn't, I've knit it with all black. Mm-mm. I don't mind it if I put it with other colors, but I'm not knitting with just black by itself. The second shop I went to was called Tippecanoe Weavers and Fiber 2. uh, So, a lot of you I know remember Tippy Canoe and Tyler too. And this was in Tip City, Ohio. Um, I forgot where the other one was at. They weren't far from the hotel. I mean, we probably drove a half hour away at the most. So, at the Weaver, if you go back and watch my last video, and I'll put a link to it in my description so that you can go watch it. Um, I also did a video there. She has weaving, she had looms, and uh, she even had dyes, and she had a lot of yarns, of course. And if you bought $30 or more, she gave you a free handmade knitting tote or tote bag. I don't guess it has to be for knitting. It can be for crochet, cross stitch, or just to tote some stuff around, right? So she had this. It's called Alta Yarn. And there we go. All those pretty colors. And it came in this really cool little I might need to let me turn the light off for part of this because this bag is um, hard to see with the light on. There we go. So it came in a nice little zippered bag with a little handle on it. And let me see if I can find it. Ah, there it is. Do you see that? Yes, a hole where the yarn is coming out. She's even got it started for you so that you can make this beautiful shawl. Of course, this shawl is a different colorway than what I've got, unless they just didn't go all the way out, because I think I see some of those colors in here. Now, this is a super fine yarn. So it's called Alta to Go, Alta Yarn, and there's a pattern for it inside. It's 100% merino wool superwash. It's 200 grams, which is approximately 700 meters or 763 yards. It calls for a US size 4 to 7 needle because you're doing lace work. It does not say what you would need for a hook, so I would say probably a hook around the same size. And you should get, well, 19 to 26 stitches to 4 inches. It's color numbers 2000. It's called Garden Salad with Craisins. That's an interesting colorway name. And it's made in Turkey, exclusive for Alta Yarn, which is located in Longhorn, Pennsylvania. That's interesting. I didn't know that. And the website is altaryarn.com. So, but her website is Tip Weaver. I wish I had my info. Oh, I do have my information here with me. Hang on one second. I forgot I have my phone with me, which means I have my business cards with me. So it's called Tip with two P's, Weave Yarn.com. Come on. I shake too much, I think. Yeah, it's not going to show up. And they were, of course, in Tip City, which is two P's. And then Ohio Alpaca Textiles, Mary Ann was her name. And K is Tippy Canoes. Um, Ohio Alpaca Textiles is in Dayton. Yep. And so I got this, and it was originally, oh, my price tag must have come off. It was originally over. Oh, there it is. It was originally $39.25, but it was on sale, so I got it for $10 off. I think it was maybe a little more. So I was a little sad because I didn't quite meet. It was 29 and change after taxes. I was a little sad because I didn't meet the $30. I was like, I should have got something else. If I'd known that was on sale, I would have picked up a little something else. And she goes, "Oh, I'll go ahead and give you a free bag because it's just under 30 and it was originally almost 40." And I said, "Well, I still should have got something else. I didn't, because I could have spent a little extra in there." My husband's happy I didn't. But she gave me this free tote bag that she made. She said some people are always giving her fabric, and so what she does with it, if she can, if it's tote bagable fabric, I guess, she makes tote bags and gives them away because she gets the fabric for free too. But of course, her time is not free, and I told her that was very sweet of her. And that's the inside as well. So I'm trying to see. Yeah. So I thought that was kind of pretty. It's a green with flowers on it. I thought that was very, very sweet, so I used it for my yarn. Now, the last place I went to, and you really have to go check out my other video, it was called Fiber Fusion. And her name was Angela, and she had stained glass, fused glass, yarn supplies, and gifts in there. And she had all kinds of samples hanging up in there. It was pretty cool. And her shop was divided up. In one room, well, when you walked in, there was some yarn out in the front, and you walked into the next part, and it was the fiber, I mean, not fiber, but glass, jewelry, pendants, earrings, uh, just all kinds of stuff. And she even had felted hats for sale in there, which were really cute hats. And she had some Christmas ornaments. Sorry, I'm kind of choked up today. Um, so it was really nice. And then when you walk down the hall, she had some yarn sitting out in the hallway. And in the first room, she had all the needles and notions along one wall, and she had some yarns on the other wall. I'm not sure. I'm thinking they were DK weight. They might have been baby yarn. I don't remember. The next room you went in was um, I think it was DK, maybe some sock weight in there, and and then the next room was like um, worsted weight and that type of yarn. And then the next room, she had tables set up in there, and they were getting ready. All three places on Thursday had knitting groups, which I thought was pretty cool that they were on Thursday afternoons. Well, one of them was the Tippecanoe. Theirs was from 10 to noon, and then they opened the shop to the public at 1. And the other two places, theirs were starting as I went in, so that was around 11:30, 12, which I thought was pretty interesting that, middle of the day on a Thursday. And they were all very nice. My husband went into the first shop with me, and they just loved that. They were asking him questions and talking to him, and while I got a tour and took video. So I thought that was really cute, and I did leave it. I left my videos as they were. I did not edit those. Um, Well, I edited them to get them in order, but I didn't edit anything out because I like the naturalness of a video and what's going on in the shop. And so he didn't go into the next two with me. He started to go in the first one, or the second one with me, and it was too tiny. And then he decided to stay outside in the car on the third one. So I went into the room where they were. I had gone into all the rooms that were empty and did videos. Then I went into the room where they were settling in to knit, and they were sitting there talking and knitting and having a good time. And they quit. I was like, no, please keep talking. Just, you're not going to bother me. I'll try not to bother you. I said, I'm just looking and, I'm deciding and I'm just doing a video for my YouTube channel. So they kind of went back to talking a little bit, but, I didn't want to interrupt them. I wanted them to talk and have a good time. So at Fiber Fusion, now that I've had you in suspense, I picked up some stuff that I can only order online that I know of because I don't think any of the shops here carry it. But it's called Leading Men. I'm wondering if this will show up real pretty like this. Yeah, it does. Yeah. So there you go. Isn't that gorgeous? Let's see what it looks like with the light on. I think that's a little bit better with the light on. So there is some black and purple in that black. Let me see if I can get it around to where you can see the purple. There we go. Pink, lilac, I guess you could call that. Actually, it's darker than that. Or what are you seeing? Yeah, that lilac-y is actually a bit darker than lilac, but there you go. Isn't that gorgeous? Now, this is some more sock yarn, and it's called Leading Men Fiber Arts.com is where you can go and find this online. So now I'm going to turn this off so we can see the there we go, because I think it just kind of okay. And the colorway, this is called well, this line is called Showstopper. The colorway is Dragon Queen. I mean, not Dragon Queen, Drag Queen. Excuse me, Drag Queen. It's a fingering weight, 463 yards, 100 grams, 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, machine wash dry flat. And it was $28. These were not, none of this stuff was on sale, that except for that one thing that I bought. And now I really wish I had picked up one or two other things in that shop, but I didn't. Then I have this. This, well, let me see if it, I don't think it's going to be any prettier with the light on, but we'll put the light on it and see. So it's got pinks and purples and I don't know, can you pink? Yeah, that's just blaring off the back a bit. So I'm going to turn this back off and we'll just finish this without the light. But see, it doesn't show it as pretty as it really is. But it shows you the colors that are in there. Pink, lilac, darker purples, uh, a deep pink, just full of color. You're going, yeah, okay, what is it? It's called, the yarn is Feast of Fibers, Dyeworks LLC. It is, cot, wait a minute. Can't read one of the things that it says it is. Let me see if I can. Oh, okay. It just says critters. So it's a cotton silk bamboo mix. It's a hand dyed yarn, of course, and it's called bamboo cotton. It's 51% organic cotton, 49% bamboo. So I don't know where they get the silk at because there's no silk in it. And it's called passion fruit. It's 495 yards, 8 ounces. Now, this is more, I would say, more a three weight as well. Could be a two weight, but I think it's more a three weight. That's up to y'all. Let me get a darker color here. Not sure if you can see it, but there you go. Uh, this is a hand wash, lay flat to dry, and yeah, I would say it's more like a three weight, a heavy two to a light three. Um, it calls for a US 7 to 9 knitting needles. Sorry, there is just no crochet hook things on here. And that's all there is about it. And that's the tag. So that, oh, this was $32. So that was my yarn crawl in Ohio. I thought it was I thought I got some pretty good deals. And we had a good time. I walked around Ohio. Well, Greenfield, Green, not Greenfield, Green County Fairgrounds, knitting a pair of socks on some, I don't know how to say it, Hobby from Denmark. Some of their silly socks, because that's what I took with me to work on down there while I'm walking around what's called Hamvention. You can look that up. It's amateur radio stuff. Of course, I got a lot of attention because I was doing that. A lot of guys were like, "Oh, my wife crochets or knits or whatever," and I'm like, "That's cool. Can I take your picture and send it to her? She needs to come next year if you're coming." So, it's nice to know that even the guys pay attention to what their wives are doing and they want their wives along. Not a lot of wives come along unless they're hams. There's a lot of women there, but we're outnumbered by the guys. Uh, so that's all. That's all today. Uh, Not this week, but the following week, we're going to be in Charlotte, North Carolina for Southeast Linux Fest. And I've done told my husband that I want to go to Charlotte Yarns while we're there because we're going down a couple of days earlier than we usually do. And I need to go. I know Remy, who owns Charlotte Yarns, or she did. I'm hoping she's still there and hoping she still owns it. And I like to go shop in her yarn shop and pick up a few local North Carolina yarns that she carries. Uh, so if you have a chance, look up Charlotte Yarns online. I think it's charlotteyarns.com or charlotteyarn.com, and give her a shout out. Yeah, if you live in the area, you need to go visit. I know there's a lot of yarn shops in North Carolina too. A lot of nice ones there too. But she's closer to where I'm at, and that's where I want to go. So, we'll see you again soon. Have a great day, craft away, and know that you're loved. I'm here for you if you need to talk or just a shoulder to cry on. So, have a great day.